Hello everyone, welcome to Genie. In today's video, we are going to see a comparison of REST and gRPC. So, REST and gRPC are two communication protocols which are widely used. Now, let us understand about the two communication protocols deeply, their advantages, disadvantages, uses, and architecture. So REST stands for Representational State Transfer. REST is an architectural style. It is designed for networked applications. And it was introduced by this guy called Roy Fielding in 2000. And it is used in web services and development, and it is built on the principles like simplicity and scalability. It is using primarily HTTP as its communication protocol, and it is leveraging widely into the World Wide Web. Now let us see some of the features of REST. So REST, first let us talk about the client-server architecture. REST separates the client, which makes requests from the server, and it provides the response while after processing the request. So it allows independent evolution and scalability of each of the component. Now there is something called as stateless interaction. So each request from the client to the service must contain all the necessary information. Servers don't store any information about the previous request, making them highly scalable. And there is a uniform interface. REST employs a set of predefined methods like get, put, post, delete. This interact with the resources. Resources are identified by URLs. And the rest is cacheable. Responses from the server can be marked as cacheable or non-cacheable. Cacheable improves the performance by allowing clients to reuse previously fetched responses. And there is also a layered system which is used by REST. Clients are unaware of the complexity of the server structure, so there can be intermediaries like proxies and gateways between clients and servers. The message format or the output format of REST service is JSON, or it can be either XML, so it makes them human readable and easy to understand. Some of the examples of RESTful APIs includes Twitter API, GitHub API, and many public web services are created using REST. This is the communication flow of REST. So the REST clients, it can be anything. It can be a computer, or it can be a phone or any device. It sends a request to a REST server. So REST server can be a web page or an image or a video, anything. It can be a server, and this request is either sent using a get, post, put, or delete method. And once that is done, a response is received in JSON or XML format. Post is if you wanted to create a new record or something, you will use the post method. And if you want to get the response of something, then you can use the get method. If you want to update something, you can use the put method. If you want to delete something from your source, you can always use the delete method. So these are the four methods which are used to send requests, and the response will always be in a JSON format or a XML format. So REST has a lot of advantages. REST is one of the widely adopted and understood protocol. and it is platform independent. Since we are using this HTTP, it is very easy to understand and implement using the standard web technologies, and it is very good for public APIs, and it supports caching for improved performance. On the right hand side, we can see how REST works. So as I said, REST has got 4 methods. These are sent as HTTP requests by a URL, and from the server you will get the response in a JSON format. Below is an example of a JSON format. So there are some disadvantages of REST as well. It is overhead due to textual message formats, limited support for real-time communication, and lack of formal contract between client and server. So for example, let us see this weather service. So we are developing a weather service using REST to provide weather information of different cities. So we wanted to get information about a particular city. So this is how the endpoint looks like. Get weather city. Now how does the response look like? So we will get the information like this. A city will be there, a temperature and condition, like whether it is sunny day or rainy day or something. So this is how a typical JSON format looks like. Now the next protocol which we are going to discuss is the gRPC, or the Google Remote Procedure Protocol. It is one of the most efficient and open source RPC framework. gRPC, it enables the communication between different applications as if they were function calls with the same program. And gRPC is developed by Google, of course. That is the name Google Remote Procedure Call. gRPC uses HTTP2, which offers features like multiplexing, that is multiple requests over a single connection, server push, which results in improved performance. And in gRPC, bidirectional streaming is used. So client and server or server to client streaming is allowed here. This means that client and server can send multiple messages back and forth in a single connection. And gRPC uses multiple programming languages. In gRPC, instead of JSON format, we are using a protocol buffer. There is a proto file which is used for this message serialization or communication. So protocol buffers are used for structuring the methods that are exchanged between a client and server. Protobuf is a binary serialization format which is very efficient than the formats like JSON or XML. So this is how a gRPC communication flow looks like. So gRPC sends a proto request, and from the client it receives a proto response. So this is how the exchange happens. An advantage, so highly efficient binary message format since we are using protocol buffers, and HTTP2 features, so it supports multiple messages in a single connection, header compression, etc. These are some of the HTTP2 features, and it supports streaming for real-time applications, automatic code generation for client and servers. So this protobuf can be generated automatically. So you just have to create the protobuf in a like what all request and response you wanted, and the underlying code will be automatically generated. Well suited for microservices and internal communication. So there are some disadvantages for gRPC. It requires more setup and configuration. It might not be suitable for all scenarios since the protobuf is like a type of secret script. It is not widely available like our REST API JSON format. Protobuf is somewhat different, so it is not suitable for public APIs. And the browser support will is limited. It is supporting only HTTP2 format. So this is an example of gRPC weather service. Consider a weather service implemented using gRPC, and the service will provide a method get weather. It takes the city request and returns a weather response. So in this example, there is a client, and the client calls a get weather method. So there is a message request, city request, and here the city name is passed as request. And if you see, there is a service called weather service. So this is how a service is registered in a protobuf, RPC get weather. So this is the method which we want to call. And the method, what does the method get weather method pass? It passes city request. So city request contains what? It contains a city name, and it returns what? It returns this name of the city, temperature, and the condition, like with status of that city. So this is how a protobuf looks like. And how do you choose whether do you want REST or gRPC? So if you wanted and to create an application using which should be widely compatible and simple, then I think REST is suitable. For example, for public APIs. But if you wanted something for internal communication and high performance like microservices and for that purpose, gRPC is suitable. So both REST and gRPC has got their strength and use cases. So based on the specific project requirements, we have to choose which communication protocol you wanted. Also, we need to consider the factors like performance, ease of implementation, compatibility, etc. when we are choosing a communication protocol. So that is what we have for today's video. If you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, consider subscribing to my channel. And I post videos on web development every week. So please support me. Your support is what motivates me to create more videos. Thank you so much. We'll see next week with another exciting video soon. Bye.